Welcome to the Thanksgiving Phaser Shootout episode of the ATX Gear Show. I'm Keny.
And I'm Wes.
And we review the gear we want, the way we want.
Which is the right way.
Today we'll be taking a look at the MXR Phase 95 and the Script Phase 90.
Right, now there's a lot of debate online as to whether there's any audible difference between these two pedals when the Phase 95 is in script mode.
So we decided to do a blind A/B test to see if we could hear the difference and if you could hear the difference.
Okay, well let's do a quick overview of the pedals and then we'll dive right in.
Awesome, let's take a look at these pedals.
Often imitated but never duplicated, the elusive vintage Script Phase 90 is at the top of the list for pedal collectors worldwide. The original version, available from the company's inception to the late 70s, practically defines the classic phase shifter sound and was heard on everything from hard rock, jazz fusion, to funk hits. The MXR Custom Shop Script Phase 90 brings back the headroom and clarity of the original, along with its ultra-warm and smooth phasing and reduced mid-range swell. The Phase 90's compact size, superior construction, and refined sound put MXR on the map, and it set the standard by which all other phasers are judged. 2 years later, MXR released the Phase 45, a mellower version of the effect favored for its ability to easily blend into a band's mix. Now, you can get both iconic circuits in a single pedal while tightening up your pedal board at the same time. The Phase 95 combines the Phase 45 and the Phase 90 circuits in a mini housing with about half the footprint of a standard MXR pedal. The 45-90 switch toggles between the Phase 45 mode's subtle 2-stage phasing and the Phase 90 mode's more pronounced 4-stage phasing, while the script switch toggles between the two phasing styles. Both pedals retail at $99.99.
For today's comparison, we're going to be using only the script mode on the Phase 95 to see how it stacks up against the Script Phase 90.
I'll be playing a Fender Telecaster through a 68 Vibrolux Reverb reissue.
And I'll run a Les Paul through a Marshall DSL-20 using a 1x12 cab.
So how are we going to make this a true blind test?
Well, being at Thanksgiving, we were going to be clever and have a turkey mask, but it didn't show up in time. So I guess we'll have to break out the monkey.
Let's break out the monkey.
Dr. Sayers, Dr. Sayers.
The amp's tone and volume controls have been set to around noon, and the phasers control around 11 for a nice defined phase. If you're watching this, grab a pen and paper, try to keep up. All right, dude, let's hear your dry tone.
Okay.
And phaser A. And phaser B. Alright, for the second test here, for the dirty test, we're going to be using a JHS Muffalata. Controls are set to pretty much around noon. And Wes, let's hear your dry signal real quick, buddy. And phaser A. And here's phaser B.
Well, that was a lot of fun. You know what they say, right?
What's that?
Monkey see, monkey do.
Ah.
So why don't you go ahead and give me that dry signal? Awesome, man. Now let's hear phaser A. All right, now let's hear phaser B. And for the dirty sound, Kenny's going to be running through the ultra gain channel of his Marshall DSL 20 amp. All right, man, let's hear the dry signal. Great, now let's hear phaser A. And now phaser B.
All right, man. Yeah, this mask was pretty hard to see through.
Yeah, it's a little tougher than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
but we got through it. We got through it.
Actually, was blind.
It was really blind test. Yep.
All right. So, Wes, test number 1, your clean test, man. What'd you think?
Well, I was able to tell the difference between the two. On test number 1, phaser A was phase 90. Phaser B was phase 95.
You sure?
Yes.
All right. All right. So on test number 2, the dirty test, what'd you think?
On that one, switched them up. I think that phaser A this time was the 95 and phaser B was the 90.
Interesting. All right. Well, we'll see.
Now, on your test, on test number 1, the clean test, could you tell a difference?
Pretty sure I could.
What do you think?
I think that phaser A was the 90.
Okay.
And phaser B was the 95.
Okay. And on the dirty test?
It's a little harder. Distortion. Still think that I got it right. I think that the phaser A that time was the 90, and then phaser B was the 95.
You sure?
Did I say that right? Phaser A was the 95, phaser B was the 90. That's
okay. So to be clear, you're saying phaser A was the 95, phaser B was the 90.
Yes.
Okay.
Pretty
cool.
Sure. Yes.
Great. Well, all right. Let's reveal the results.
All right, Wes. So Annie was keeping track for us off camera there, and she'll flash them up on the screen for you guys to see how you did. But Wes, for test number 1, the clean test, you said phaser A was the 90 and phaser B was the 95.
That's right.
You got it right.
Yeah.
And for test number 2, the dirty test, you said that phaser B was a 90 and phaser A was a 95.
Yeah, that's correct.
You got that one right too, man.
All right. And on your test, you said that on test number 3, the clean test, phaser A was 90 and phaser B was a 95.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think.
Yeah, you were right. You were
Nice.
right. Test number 4, the dirty test. You were a little more reluctant to say this one. You said it was a little harder to
harder.
tell. You said phaser A was the 95, phaser B was the 90. And again, you'd be right.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's wrap this up, huh?
I agree, man. This was a fun episode. Seems clear, man. There is a difference between these two pedals.
Right. The Phase 90 to me seems warmer and has a smoother top end, and the effect itself is a little more subtle.
I 100% agree. The 95 adds like a higher frequency to the top end, almost like a clean boost.
Yeah, and remember, the goal of the video today was only to determine whether there was an audible difference between the two, and I think it's clear that there is. If you're looking for something that's a little more warm sounding, you might go with the Phase 90. If you're looking for a phaser that's a little more aggressive, has a few more options to play with, and a smaller footprint on your pedal board, then the Phase 95 might be the right one for you.
Well, there you have it, guys. Could you hear a difference? If you could, definitely let us know in the comments. We'd like to see.
We hope you enjoyed our show this week. Stay tuned next week when we review the JHS Muffaletta, which you heard on the show today. We're half drunk,
Half stoned,
but fully reviewed.
Pretty sure it's Muffaletta, man.
Man, you.